Hello, everyone. So, this has got to be like the sixth time I've tried to do this video. I was having some sound issues, and I think I've got it fixed now. So, anyway, hello, how is everyone? Mental health check in for the week. I'm sorry I haven't posted in so long. I have had so much going on. So, as you can see right here, I'm obviously my house. I've just started decorating my bedroom. I built this loft area for my bed, and I do like it a lot. Um, I think it's super pretty, but there's a lot to do still, and I'm just experimenting with things. So I'm going to tell you guys this before we start with our mental health check-in. I got the marketplace pass. That's what it's called. And so I got, all these furniture add-ons. And I mean, look at these beds. Aren't they so cute? And I added an animal add-on too. So we're going to go check that out. But how's everybody doing today? So I think for our mental health check-in today, we're going to oh my gosh, there's a scorpion. Oh, look at how huge it is. Oh, it's creepy. I don't even want to walk up to it. Look at the size of that thing. Oh my goodness. So, oh, that's creepy. I want to see what's down in this cave. I have all these animal add-ons like, oh, look at the little otter. Is it an otter? I think it's an otter. Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, so yeah, I got this animal add-ons and I got all these awesome animals, and I hope that scorpion doesn't kill that otter. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, I filled in my duck area. I don't know if you guys have seen this. But I've got ducks everywhere. So funny story real quick before we get started. I got my animal add-on and I spawned all these ducks in here. And then I spawned in some Canadian geese and some white geese. And they all flew away the next day. I didn't know that the geese would just fly away, but they sure did. And so all I have left is ducks. But anyway, so we'll show you some more animals in a little while. I think for today's mental health check-in, we're going to talk about the feeling of being left out. Now, I think that this can be something that anyone can struggle with, and probably most people have struggled with at one time or another in their life. Should I go this far over? Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I think we're going to cut a new hole here, people. I think we're going to cut a new hole. We're going to go all the way over. So, so while I talk about this today, I'm just going to clear this land. And I know you guys have seen me do a lot of that, but it just helps me focus when I'm talking about mental health or issues. So I think, the feeling of being left out, something we have probably all gone through in our lives, whether you have a mental health condition or not. And something that can feel really hurtful. When I was younger, I had the feeling of being left out a lot. When I was younger, so I'm obviously, an older person, and when I was a kid, mental health really wasn't talked about. It was not really acknowledged. We didn't know as much about it as we know today, or There definitely hadn't been as much research done on it. I can't say research apparently. Anyway, there definitely hadn't been as much research done on it, and it was just something in my generation that was not talked about, that was not discussed. And so I think as a kid, a lot of my mental health issues got dismissed as me being like a troubled child, right? That's kind of what I was labeled. I was just a troubled kid. And so as a result, in school, they just thought, I couldn't keep up and that I was just troubled. And so in school, I was in, and I don't know what they call them today, but when I was a kid, they called them resource rooms. And I always had like an IEP, which I don't know if you know what that is either, but it's like kind of like a behavioral educational plan, right? And so all throughout school, I was in these resource rooms. And, um, as a result, I definitely got picked on and I definitely got left out of a lot of things. And I definitely got left behind other kids and, things that they were doing and experiencing because I don't know why I just ate some berries, but there was that. Anyway, I definitely got left out a lot. And it's a hurtful feeling. And I guess what brought this up of thinking about wanting to talk about this subject was I actually recently had a situation where I felt really left out. And it was at work. So the job that I've been at for a little over 2 years. And we have these like monthly meetings every month where we do like we just talk about things that are up and coming in the company and projects that we're working on. But during the meetings, they always announce the anniversaries of the people who have been there and like how long they've been there. And then they announce everybody's birthdays that are going to be, their birthday's going to be that month or whatever, right? So let's rewind a little bit. So like back in April would have been my 2-year anniversary. And we had, the monthly community meeting or whatever. And I didn't want to close this in. I forgot about that. Okay, so we want to go from here. Sorry, I'm squirreling for a minute. I want to be on this level. Perfect. I think I'm right. Anyway, so oh my gosh, there's a peacock. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we have these monthly meetings, right? And back in April, when they did the monthly meeting, they did not announce my anniversary. And I thought, oh, no big deal. They probably just didn't have it on their list or whatever. Like, I really didn't think nothing of it. And did it slightly bother me? Yeah, kind of, but it really wasn't that big of a deal, right? Well, fast forward to June, and my birthday's in June, and they had the monthly meeting again, and it was, each month it's a different department's turn to be in charge of the meeting, right? And so this month was my department's turn, And they did not announce my birthday, but they announced everyone else's. Now, it hurt my feelings. And when you, or myself, I can only speak for myself, but when we get our feelings hurt, anyone, I think, your initial reaction is to do something about it, or like to just, so I'll kind of tell you my process, right? Like in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was really rude. That really hurt my feelings. Like, am I just not a part of the team? Like, obviously, you kind of spiral in your mind, right? Like, am I not a part of the team? Uh, why wouldn't they announce my birthday? Like, why would they announce everyone else's? That's really hurtful. And then, obviously, like, I want to do something about it. So I jump right towards, like, oh, well, I'm going to tell my boss how rude that was and how much I didn't appreciate that. And and then you just spiral kind of out of control. And that's something I think as people, or maybe just me, who knows, but that's something I think we need to work on as people. We cannot get so in our feelings that we cause chaos over something that really isn't even that big of a deal. Like, yeah, is it hurtful that they forgot my birthday? Yeah, it's hurtful that they forgot my birthday. However, it probably wasn't done intentionally. And it probably was not done intentionally. And I read this. No, I didn't read. I listened to this lady. I just love her so much. And if you ever get a chance to listen to anything that she talks about, she is so smart. And I have done a lot of healing by listening to her, but her name is Joyce Meyer, and she's just amazing. And anyway, she does this talk about how we feel, right? About how we can't just do everything based on how we feel. In that moment, we have these things called end of day reports that we do. And in that moment, I wanted to be like, I'm going to put this in my end of day report, and I'm going to tell her how rude that was, that she hurt my feelings, and, all this stuff. But, what good is that even going to do? Number one, she probably didn't do it. My boss probably didn't do it intentionally. Did she forget? Was it hurtful? Yes. But everything isn't always about how I feel, right? Like, when we do stuff based on our feelings, we often cause a lot more chaos than we should. And in this talk from Joyce, she says, well, I don't feel like doing this today. Well, you have to, right? Like, I can not feel like going to work, but I'm still going to go because I still got to pay my bills, right? So we can't just always do things based on how we feel, or it would just cause chaos. And so I'm not really sure where I'm going with this other than being left out can be hurtful, but we can't let others' actions determine how we act or how we feel. Did it hurt my feelings that day? Yes, it did. However, was it a big enough deal that it still hurts my feelings now? No. You know, um, and bottom line, you know, my family knows when my birthday is. They care about me. The people in my life that care about me know. And is it really anyone else's responsibility? I mean, not to sound harsh at all, but is it really anyone else's responsibility to care about my birthday? No, it's not. Do I really care about what, you know, do I really want to let others dictate how I feel about myself? No, I don't need to, you know, which is a good point. You should not let others dictate how you feel about yourself. You know, my mom a few years ago, um, she had, I'm not going to tell you the whole story because it's not my story to tell, but she had just bottom line, you know, she was really worried about a situation and what the people at her workplace were going to think about her because of the situation. And I remember telling her, you know, in 10 years from now, is what these people think about you really gonna matter in your life? And I remember she was just like, no, it's absolutely not gonna matter. And and she was right about that. It's not gonna matter. If you know, what really matters is myself, what I think about myself, you know, and my my family, you know. And sometimes what your family thinks about you doesn't really matter either. It depends on the family member, but you know, my, you know, my family, the ones that love me and are here to support me and genuinely be there for me, you know. Other than that, it doesn't matter. Look at this peacock. He's so pretty. I love it. He's super loud too. Anyway, yeah, anyway, bottom line, it just doesn't, it's not detrimental, you know, just because they didn't remember my birthday. And I need to remember that. And I think sometimes, you know, when it comes to feeling left out, yeah, it sucks, but but um you know, in that moment, yes, I felt hurt. Yes, I didn't feel part of the team. And those feelings hurt, and I know that that's something that a lot of us have gone through in our lives. However, did it need to be that big of a deal? No. You know, did I need to let it affect my day the way that it did? Probably not. Um, and if there is people in your life who make you feel like you're left out, just know that and don't give them that much power over how you feel. You know, sometimes that's when we see people's true colors. You know, we may think that we're their friends, but we need to realize that not everybody is a great friend. And not everybody has your back, unfortunately. We would like to think that the world's all rainbow and roses, but it's really not. But not to be negative in any way either and say that, you know, you should never trust anyone or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, you know, not everyone's going to be that person for you that you want them to be. And that's okay. You know? That is okay. So anyway, I don't know if what I said today makes any sense. or if what I said today helped anyone in any way consider a situation that they've maybe been through. Um, and I don't even know if everything I wanted to say was portrayed, but I'm glad that I got to talk to you guys today, and I appreciate all of you for watching my videos and listening to my rants and raves. I did try to do this video like 6 times and it kept failing, so I'm sure there's things throughout the different videos that I've missed and not thought about. But I do want to show you something cool before we go today. So my son was like, "Hey mom, let's do a building battle." And so over here you can see, like, way over there, his house that he built, and I don't think he's done with it yet, but that's the one that he built. And then I absolutely loved the Minecraft movie. I thought it was super great. So my favorite thing in the Minecraft movie was the pink wool house. And so this is my version of Steve's pink wool house. Oh my gosh, look at it. There's a snail down here. Look at him, he's so cute. Anyway, this is my version of Steve's pink wool house. It's super big. And I don't know what happened, like how I did this with these furniture add-ons that I have. And there's just animals everywhere because of the animal add-on. Like, look, there's a rat. But anyway, I don't know how I did this, but like with the windows, like with the black curtains and the pink, and then these like awesome chandeliers that I have, it's definitely a little bit gothic, which I love. Like, I don't mind at all. I think it's super pretty. I do need to still put curtains on those windows, but this is like supposed to be the kitchen, and then this will be like a living room, and then this is gonna be like the bathroom. And let's see, I have a prayer room. Gotta have your prayer room, guys. Gotta have your prayer room. I mean, for me anyway. To each their own. But this is supposed to be a bedroom. And then this is gonna be another bedroom. And I gotta show you these guys because they're super cute. I've got Harold the Hedgehog. And I've got Persephone the hamster, and I've got Symphony the hamster. And I just think they're absolutely adorable. I just love them so much. So anyway, there's my version of Steve's pink wool house. I've still got to decorate all the rooms. I will let you guys see it again once it's fully completed. But as of right now, it's just a big fluffy house. And yeah, so I think that's so exciting, and I just wanted to show you guys that before I left today. You know me with my ADHD. I got about 500 projects going on and none of them are finished. But we will get there, and I super love this snail. Oh, look, and there's a mole. Oh my goodness, this animal add-on has everything. It is insane. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope that you all have a good night. Appreciate you listening. Please like and subscribe. You can find me on Jenny's Gaming Therapy on YouTube or on Facebook at Jenny's Gaming Therapy as well. And I'm going to hang out with this snail, you guys. And I hope you have a good night. Talk to you later.